Well, the lies were exposed and Trump has seen how this scandal has rocked his poll numbers. He rang Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, a Democrat, to talk peace, and it seems that they've agreed that Trump may remove some of the ICE agents and Walz will stop a campaign of opposition to them. But the biggest sign of retreat is that Trump has sidelined Kristi Noem and appointed his border czar, Tom Homan, to take over in Minnesota instead. He says Homan will report directly to him, Trump, and not Noem, who I think seems destined for the sack. Joining me is Sean Spicer, Donald Trump's first White House spokesman. Sean Spicer, great to see you again. The shooting of Alex Pretty, that seems to me both a tragedy and a disaster for the White House, which has been, it's all been made worse by the lies that Kristi Noem told about it. It now seems that Donald Trump sees that too and is sidelining Noem. How bad is this?
Well, there's a few things. It's not good. You're absolutely right. I mean, the idea of Americans waking up and seeing on their television screens for the second time in a couple of weeks an American being killed is not a great image. And the finger pointing, in this situation, just it doesn't help the White House. The idea of trying to figure out who to cast blame, and the individual themselves could be 100% wrong. It's just still not a good image of an American dying on a street. But there's a couple factors at play here. Number one, why is Minneapolis happening the way it is, but other cities aren't? And that's one of the questions that I think Caroline Leavitt addressed today at the White House briefing, but most people should ask, why is it the case that New Orleans or Memphis or Washington, D.C. aren't having the same problems? They're all run by Democrats as well. The difference is, yes, they are sanctuary cities to some degree, but they're also cooperating with ICE. Minneapolis has gone out of its way to say, we don't want to work with you. And that's created this additional tension, these additional problems, these additional loopholes for the federal officials going after the criminals. That being said, them coming out and sort of gaslighting the American people, as you noted with Kristi Noem, the way she did, is not helping create trust or accountability or understanding as to what the real goal is. And Trump sending out Tom Homan was absolutely the right move here. And let me just say why. When you look at Tom Homan, he is a man who President Obama gave our nation's highest award to. He is a recognized law enforcement man. He spent years as a beat cop in New York City and decades as a federal agent. He has the bona fides and the credibility to go out and address the issues of ICE and detainment and going after criminals in a very sort of professional way, one that, frankly, Kristi Noem lacks.
Well, that's very interesting. What does it say about Kristi Noem? Is she finished then in the long term? I mean, it's quite extraordinary how Tom Homan has been put in charge of essentially her operation. I mean, she's the ultimate say in it. But now this Tom Homan is going to be reporting directly to Donald Trump, as the president himself said, made very clear.
Yeah, look, first of all, let's just to fill your viewers on a little palace intrigue. There had been rumors of a lot of tension between Homan and Noem for quite some time. Homan, as I said, is a well-established law enforcement guy who's got strong bona fides dealing with the border, immigration, customs enforcement, that whole deal. So for him, this is in his wheelhouse. Noem, yes, she was a governor, but she's no law enforcement experience, no border experience. I mean, the DHS secretary deals with a lot. They've got the Coast Guard, TSA, all of these various entities, the Secret Service, under their purview. It's a big managerial job. But when it comes to the actual border, Tom Homan is the right guy to be addressing this. And I think the president, not only in the tweet that he sent out this morning, acknowledging that Tom would be going, but made it very clear, and this is something that didn't get a lot of attention, Andrew. He said Homan, who hasn't been involved up till yet, it was almost to say Homan's got clean hands. He can go in and be an honest broker, an honest agent, whereas Noem had sort of created some tension and some concern about her previous statements going back to Renee Good's incident in Minneapolis just a few days prior to that. So I think the reason that he sent Homan in is to be that honest broker, a guy with credentials. But also, one of the things that I talked about earlier today in the U.S. that was interesting to see the president deal with is making this deal. As I said at the outset, the reason that ICE is having this situation is that law enforcement refuses to cooperate in Minneapolis. So if they know somebody's in their jail and is a criminal, they won't tell ICE. If they know that they get somebody wrapped up in an arrest and they're illegal, they won't tell ICE. And what I think the president needed to do, and he clearly was making that overture today with Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, was to say, how about we come to a deal? You work with our guys to go after known criminals, people that are in your city, in your state, that have criminal records, and we will back off doing what we had to because you wouldn't work with us in the first place. If they can both agree to that, I think the temperature gets taken down, ICE gets to continue doing what it's doing, Walz gets a victory by seeing thousands of these agents probably leave Minneapolis, and he can claim a political victory as well.
Well, let's go to the Grammys now. Obviously, one of the biggest moments in pop culture every year that people are increasingly sick and tired of, and it's no wonder. It was full of the typical political statements. One of the most absurd ones came from Billie Eilish, who parroted a line that we've heard all too often here in Australia.
No one is illegal on stolen land.
So how do you think it would go if I rocked up at her $20 million California mansion and just decided to snuggle up in her bed and make a little home for myself? I thought no one was illegal on stolen land.
Open borders. I mean, for goodness sake, it is great when you see people who don't have to worry about anything in life. This is the same woman who, by the way, at another awards night said, you know, if you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? You know, it's okay to be a millionaire, Joe, as long as you're not as long as the multi-millionaires are good. Just don't be a billionaire. And she can stand there and lecture about, oh, no one is illegal if you're on stolen land, but she doesn't have to worry about the consequences of that because she lives in her nice little enclave where she doesn't have to see any of these people.
Yeah, but it's also just so incredible. I just don't know why. And it's so, because I like Billie Eilish. She's got great songs. My kids love her. But it is so damaging when celebrities jump on board a bandwagon like this, because the truth is that the best advertisement against ICE is the image that they're these gun-toting, semi-machine gun firing, you know, crazy, murderous people who are killing these poor innocent, you know, people,
these people
blah, 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 blah.
on ICE or...
Well, that's both as well. But this is the thing, like, what you want the face of, if you believe that ICE is, you know, brutal and shouldn't be doing its job, you want the face to be a poor, young, Hispanic mum who's being, you know, grabbed by a commando and thrown on the ground, right? You don't want it to be some wanky celebrity who's getting up and virtue signalling at an awards ceremony. And as soon as that happens, you just think, anyone who might have been in two minds thinks, God, you're a wanker.
Well, another wanky celebrity literally said, ICE out.
I'm gonna say, ICE out. We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans and we are Americans. The hate get more powerful with more hate. The only thing that is more powerful than hate is love.
Love is also stopping rapists, pedophiles, cartel members from crossing the border and abusing American citizens.
It's very Adelaide Writers' Week, though, isn't it? So now everyone has to say that they also hate ICE. Although there was a diverse range of views, unlike Adelaide Writers' Week, because at least when Vanilla Ice won his award, he said, "Ice, ice, baby."
Indeed. So, all the problems in US politics solved at the Grammys.